If you're looking to add depth to your college football experience, then San Jose State and Toledo is the perfect game for you. These are two teams that are flying under the radar. Both teams have sustained losses, but both teams have some intriguing players that you need to watch and some intriguing storylines that you need to pay attention to. I think that this group of five matchup is definitely worth paying attention to. I think that both teams are super underrated. And this could be a really entertaining game if you decide to add it to your watching list this weekend. The first question I have is how much does San Jose State slow down this Toledo offense? Toledo just put up 71 points last week. Granted, it was against an FCS team, but this is still a team that if you looked at the last couple years, they were putting up 71 points. They were not doing that. It feels like maybe they've taken a step forward offensively. The biggest thing is Daquan Finn. How do they slow Daquan Finn down if you're San Jose State? You have to find ways to contain him as a passer and as a runner. I think that he's a better runner still than a passer, but he's showing that he's a little bit more improved as a passer, completing 68% of his passes almost. He has 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. The rushing attack is pretty much set, and he doesn't necessarily need to be that guy. He's only averaging 3.4 yards per carry. Finding ways to slow down this offense will do a lot for San Jose State. And San Jose State comes in at 1-2. And when you look at their stats, it's not exactly a disruptive unit. It's not a very intimidating unit, but those stats are kind of misleading. I think that the USC game obviously did some damage to those numbers. The Oregon State game always also did a number on those numbers. I think this is going to be a much better unit once you play the season out. And those first two games will be an anomaly. I think San Jose State is a tough defense. I think they have plenty of playmakers that are already showing they can be difficult to handle. And Toledo finally gets another test. I think the reason why I am interested to see the pace of play is Toledo did a lot of good things against Illinois too. So there's a lot of confidence in this group. They felt like they should have won that game against Illinois and they should be 2-0. So now it's just a matter of continuing that motivation, continuing that attitude, and find a way to blow San Jose State out of the water. Because right now Toledo plays at a blistering pace, and I'm curious to see if San Jose State can keep up with that. I think that they can move the ball down the field pretty efficiently. Siobhan Cordero is a good quarterback who can move the football. The question is just going to be, can they keep pace, and who is going to step up for this team? Are they able to find new playmakers? And Kyrie Robinson appears to be back this week. Justin Lockhart is still up in the air. We don't really know what's going to happen with him. We don't know what his status is going for this game. That will be a big factor into determining how good this offense can be. But I think that you've seen some other guys step up. You look at Wally Conley has stepped up in Robinson's absence. He's averaging 7 yards per carry. That is one pretty crazy. I think the biggest thing though is the emergence of Nick Nash at wide receiver. Cordero's roommate has really stepped up and made a number of big plays. If you go back and watch the USC game, this is a kid who can make some special plays, and they need him to do that again against Toledo. The question is, you have two different teams in terms of confidence. You have a San Jose State team that got beat up against USC and Oregon State. How much damage did that do to have two losses right off the bat? Coincidentally, you have Toledo who felt like they should win. They should have won, honestly, against Illinois. They lose the game by 2 points, and then they proceed to take it out last week against their FCS opponent and score 71 points. These are two teams that are coming to this game with a different mindset, but both of them are really fun to watch. And it starts with the quarterback. Siobhan Cordero and Daquan Finn are two names that you probably don't know if you're kind of on the casual level of college football. You probably don't know these group of five quarterbacks, but they are two guys that can provide plenty of entertaining football, whether that's as a passer or as a runner. Siobhan Cordero has 100 yards rushing already. Daquan Finn is at 82, but he is more than capable of rushing for 500 to 700 yards in a season. Both of them are improved at throwing the football. I think Siobhan Cordero is on pace to have his best season yet. He's yet to throw a pick. Same with Daquan Finn. I think he's on pace to have his best season as a passer. And that'll be really fun to watch for these two teams. I think that if you're looking at a reason for one of these two teams to take a step forward, it's the quarterback position. And if they're able to do that, if they're able to find their playmakers downfield, right now it feels like Toledo has a little bit more health in that department. But Nick Nash is really fun for Javon Cordero to find downfield. There are plenty of other guys. Charles Ross can be a guy for them. Sam Olson at tight end is also a good option for the Spartans. Toledo's not too far off in terms of having the talent to be able to score points almost, I don't want to say at will, but move the ball very efficiently. The rushing attack with Jacquez Stewart and Penny Boone appears to be in good hands. DeQuan Finn also adds to that. The wide receivers, Jerron Newton, having a solid season so far, but they have a few playmakers. They have 5 guys that have 60 yards already receiving. So there are plenty of options for Finn to find downfield. And it's just a matter of can they continue the confidence that they have from last week? Or is this going to be a little bit of a struggle fest and they find themselves in a little bit more trouble than they did the last 2 weeks? San Jose State is a super underrated team. I think if they lose this game, going to 1-3 hurts their confidence a little bit. Toledo has to prove that they almost have to send a message to the MAC because they won the MAC championship last year. Everyone's gunning for them, and if they find a way to win this game, that would send a message to the rest of the conference that they mean business and they are ready to play. This one's really tough to pick. I think if I have to pick, I would probably lean Toledo right now. I feel like their confidence and the playmakers they have will be the difference. But San Jose State is not a team that is too far off. San Jose State can beat this team, can beat this Toledo team. So definitely keep an eye on this one. It's probably going to be fun to watch these two quarterbacks play. And right now, I think Toledo gets the nod, and Finn's going to have a really fun game.